Yo everyone, thanks for joining me once again for Larry's full card betting guide. This weekend we have UFC 317, Topuria vs Oliveira to watch, and I am keen to go through some of my own bets and ideas for betting opportunities for the card. I'll be going through absolutely everything in this betting guide, from who I pick to win each fight, my own strong favorites and solid underdogs, my favorite lock of the card and underdog lock of the card, and to finish off, I will walk you guys through all my own personal bets, just so you can see what I decided to do with all the research I've put into this card. As always, timestamps are in the description and the comment section below if you guys want to skip to anything in particular. So without further ado, let's jump into the video, guys. What you're looking at here are my lists of favorites and underdogs for the entire card, and like I always say, this is just to show you guys who I actually ended up to pick to win on this card and how many of those picks were underdogs and favorites. If you haven't come here for my full card predictions and breakdown video for this card where I talk in detail about all my reasoning for all my fighter picks, please go and check that video out if you want some additional information on why I've made the picks that I've made. And if you have come from that video, like I always say, thanks for supporting the channel, guys, and watching both the videos. It means a lot to me, helps to move this channel forward. I will now highlight in green who my picks were for this card, and as you can see, I'm pretty split down the middle here. I've gone and picked pretty much 50-50 underdogs and favorites. There has been some solid matchmaking recently, and it hasn't made favorites as easy to just like insta go and pick for me, which I do enjoy. I also want to state that although I did pick both Joshua Van and Jackson McVeigh as underdogs in my predictions and breakdown video for the card, they both have flipped to being the slight favorite in their fights, which isn't too surprising to me, but I will now count them as favorites instead of underdogs. But I actually just found out that the matchup between Cedric Dumas and Jackson McVeigh has changed now because Cedric Dumas is now out of his fight with Jackson McVeigh. So Jackson McVeigh will now face undefeated UFC debuter Christopher Hewitt in his own UFC debut himself, taking the new matchup on only a few days' notice. If anyone wants my thoughts on this fight, I will now go into talking about it, but if you don't want to hear it, feel free to skip to the next section of the betting guide with the timestamps, of course, guys. As far as my thoughts on this matchup, short notice fight, of course. Christopher Hewitt, as far as I can tell from his record and recent fight scheduling, wasn't preparing for a fight anytime soon. His cancelled fight was for mid-August, so you know this guy isn't peaked for this in the slightest. So with that information, and knowing that Jackson McVeigh switched to being a favorite over Cedric Dumas, you'd think that he opened as like a moderate favorite over Christopher Hewitt. That's what I really thought was going to happen, but I was wrong, guys. Christopher Hewitt, at the time of recording this video, is a slight favorite over Jackson McVeigh, and I thought, man, this guy has got to be an insane prospect. He's got to be really good. Let me go do what I usually do and watch a bit of fight tape on this guy. And to be honest with you guys, I was relatively unimpressed. I'm not saying he's bad. I did see a guy who's quite gritty, like, you know, he's got decent power, he isn't afraid to get in close and make a fight scrappy, but that's pretty much where it ends in my opinion. I don't see anything crazy that would contend with Jackson McVeigh in my opinion. I think picking McVeigh as an underdog is fantastic value, and I expect him to shift to being the favorite again by fight night, exactly how he shifted to being the favorite against Cedric Dumas. I also picked Jackson McVeigh to finish Cedric Dumas, and I think I will still be picking him to get a finish in this matchup against Christopher Hewitt. I just like Jackson McVeigh's entire game better. He's taller, he's rangier. I can just see those kicks at range and those knees to the body being a massive weapon for him in this fight to break down Hewitt. Just let me know if there is something I'm missing here, guys, something I'm not seeing, but I am going to go with McVeigh by finish in this fight. That's going to be my pick. And now that short notice prediction is out of the way, let's move on now to my strong favorites and solid underdogs of the card. And as you can see here, for the strong favorite section of the video, I've picked Jacoby Smith. Shocker, I know, guys, literally like a minus 2,000 favorite right now. I've also picked Gregory Rodriguez, Alexandre Pantoja, and Ilia Topuria. The numbers next to the fighters' names are just the return you'll get on them if you were to bet on them. So for example, if you were to bet $100 on Ilia Topuria to win, it would net you a profit of $20 overall. And for my American viewers, as far as I know, when he has the minus 500 next to his name, that's how much money you have to bet on the fighter to win $100 profit on your bet. Now to jump into the solid underdogs I've chosen for this card, I've personally chosen Jackson McVeigh, of course, Vyacheslav Borshev, Haider Emil, and Beneil Dariush as my picks for solid underdogs on this card. And honestly, if Joshua Van stayed as an underdog, I probably would have put him in place of someone here, but he is no longer an underdog, unfortunately, guys. I'll explain more on why I have picked these fighters as underdogs when I get into the bet section of the video, but for now, let's move on to my locks of the card. And if you do want to know more in general about all my picks, guys, like I've already said earlier, just go check out my full card predictions and breakdown of every single fight on this card. I'll put a link to it somewhere here on the video. It should be in like the top right corner of the video. Now though that we're on to my locks of the card, I have ended up choosing, it should be to no surprise of anyone, Jacoby Smith as my favorite lock of the card. And this one just feels like a complete no-brainer, guys, in my opinion. I think this is a complete mismatch. I was saying in my prediction video that I would be surprised if Niko Price made it out of the first round of this fight. I just really feel bad for the dude, but the UFC always does use their veterans as stepping stones for these up-and-coming guys. Let's now move on to the underdog lock of the card now, and I had a hard time picking an underdog here initially that I was fully confident in, but now that the new matchup was just announced, I think I will actually go with Jackson McVeigh as my underdog lock of the card. He uses his attributes really well, he fights well at a distance and in close, he's always hunting for a finish in his fights. I personally just see him doing well not only in this fight, but in the UFC in general with maybe like a few more years of experience. So I'm going to pick him as the underdog lock of the card here. Let's now move on to my personal bets I have on this card. And here they all are for you guys now. My current personal bets I have on this card, so you can check them all out. We did very well last week on bets, so I'm very keen to see how all these bets end up finishing, honestly. There are many different types of bets scattered throughout here, as you can see, so I'll run you through all of them right now. And the hidden bet that you guys do see that's in white is the subscribers bet of the week, and I will reveal that one right after I've read out all these bets here. So let's start with the specific prop bets I've got. I've got Jacoby Smith by round 1 KO, I've got Alexandre Pantoja by sub, I've got Gregory Rodriguez plus Pantoja in a parlay, and lastly, I've liked doing this lately for a bit of an extra gamble for fun, my entire main card picks as a parlay, which is Felipe Lima, Beneil Dariush, Joshua Van, Alexandre Pantoja, and Ilia Topuria. Now that that's over, guys, we're going to move on to the main bets I have here, and these are all my single bets, so I'll explain them a bit here. Starting off with the bet on Haider Emil to get it done, and I just think that this is going to be a real test for Jose Delgado to get through. Haider Emil has shown to be quite durable, he isn't afraid to get in close and push a heavy pace, he's very well rounded as well, and Jose Delgado, of course he's dangerous, he's 100% a very dangerous dude, but if he doesn't catch and put away Haider Emil in this fight, I could 100% definitely see Haider Emil winning a decision here with his pressure and his pace. We've also got Vyacheslav Borshev to win, and I felt pretty adamant that in this matchup, if Vyacheslav can withstand that first round onslaught, he can win this fight almost certainly. McKinney is usually a one round and done type of fighter, and he tends to lose steam very, very quickly. And I think Borshev is good enough as a striker and an MMA fighter in total to not let the biggest shots through early against McKinney. He should be able to weather the storm early with caution, guys. My next bet is on Beneil Dariush, and I just do think that it'll probably be a close fight between these two, but the grappling has got to be nullified in this one, and we're going to see a stand-up fight for sure. And I think I just favor Beneil Dariush just that little bit more in the stand-up than Renato Moicano, and I just think he's more versatile in the striking. He's got a great knee up the middle as well that has done him solid against wrestlers in the UFC before. I think he's a pretty solid underdog, guys. Next, we have the underdog lock of the card in Jackson McVeigh to get the win here, and I've pretty much already explained this one. Honestly, I won't go into depth here about this fight. And now the last bet, before I reveal the subscribers bet of the week, is Joshua Van to win, and I just think stylistically, this is a great matchup for him, honestly. I do wish this one was taken with a full training camp and not just taking this one after having like a fight, I think it was 3 weeks ago, but I still do think he can get this one done here, guys. Now I can reveal the subscribers bet of the week. I have ended up choosing this person here as the subscribers bet of the week, but it is this bet in particular. I am picking the Ilia Topuria by KO bet. I didn't pick the Kai Kara France by decision bet. Sorry, dude. This is personally because I think that Alexandre Pantoja will win this fight fairly decisively as well. So I did only take that Topuria by KO bet. But thank you for putting your comment in. I have now added your bet to my betting guide. But to be honest, guys, I'd probably be pretty happy losing that money on Ilia Topuria by KO because I don't want to see Charles get flatlined in this fight. But regardless, guys, I want to say good luck to everyone watching this video with your own bets for UFC 317. That's it for Larry's full card betting guide for UFC 317, Topuria versus Oliveira. If you guys like the videos and want to see more of it, please let me know in the comments below, and make sure you like the video, of course, guys. Also, if you have any genuine questions about things regarding the UFC or video ideas you'd like to see from me, feel free to let me know about it in the comment section below. Thanks for watching, guys, and see you guys next time.